Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. There we go. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Hope you're ready to get this day started. I know I am. And it's going to be the most amazing day. It's going to be a good day. Let's do the introduction real fast, and then let's talk about some things, okay? Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Please make sure you watch the if your friends and family can't join us here on Facebook, please make sure you send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows and subscribe over there, as well as the podcast, the movies, the books, all the things. So make sure they check that out. We're on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora, anywhere podcast or radio stations are found, you can find us. So please make sure you check us out there. And I would greatly appreciate that. Oh, man. Hold on. We lost the camera for the other people. There we go. Good morning, Tammy. So let's get started. So on Thursday, we talked about closing things off, right? We talked about closing things off. Yesterday, I shared with you guys my spirit house experience. Please go back and watch that, my spirit house experience, and what that looked like. Today I want to add to closing off part 2, and I was going to make it separate, but I want it to be part of closing off because it kind of goes hand in hand. And it's so closing off things part 2 is creating no more pain. And I want to insert this little clip from a book. The split within is healed and you become whole again, meaning when you have cut things off and you become whole again, your responsibility then is not to create further pain. So when you cut things off, so good morning, Joshua. So when I cut things off, like we talked about on Thursday, and we closed that gap and we healed it and we moved past it, then the goal is not to create more pain, not to create more frustration, not to create more of the thing that you just healed from. So that puts us back at square one with the I am statement. I am, and I create this mode. So if I am healed and I've closed this part off, then my responsibility is not to create more of what I left. It is to live more in what I just created. So if you are having a difficult time today trying to figure out how do I move forward, well, you move forward by not creating more pain. And that may mean you not participating in more of the same that you've always participated in. So if we've closed it off and I've been to my spirit house and I've had that moment and I've honored, and there's a quote somewhere that I used a couple of months ago that talked about how much of my past do I honor and how much do I let go in order to move forward. So you're standing at that part. So if I've closed the thing off, you've been inside the spirit house, and now your responsibility once you've healed from that thing. So let's go back to our definition of trauma. It means in that moment we could not mentally, physically, or emotionally handle what was happening to us. We soaked it into our bodies. It became impactful inside of us. it created a trauma marker inside of us. And the more we stay in that trauma, the deeper that marker becomes, and we create new DNA inside of our body. So now your body, this is science, because you create new cells I'm not a biology major, but every 60, 90 days, your body creates new cells. So if I stayed in that trauma for 90 days, I've now created an entire human being around that trauma. And that trauma is what leads me and guides me, because that is what I've created and that's what I've known. But if I've closed it off and I've set a healing marker, then I've got to stay in that healing intentionally again for those 90 days so that I can create a new body that is healed. Now let's insert the I am statement. So I am does not destroy, it only creates. I am healed from this thing. Now my conscious pathway makes sure that I feel this thing, right? So I feel it because this is it. But you got to close it off. In the closing of it off, the first step is to not create more of the trauma or the pain. So we're not going to create more. We're not going to go back and relive it. We're not going to constantly think about it. We're not going to allow people to bring it back to us because it's not ours anymore. So you can't bring that to me because it's not mine. So I'm not going to create more of that thing because now I'm conscious enough to say I'm creating this thing. And my conscious pathway is leading me here. If you missed yesterday's show, go back and watch about the spirit house, right? Listen, and we have to acknowledge, sometimes you got to take a step back, acknowledge where you've come from, the thing. And that's why I encourage you, if you guys really want to know why I am intentional about doing, this is my 5th year doing the morning show, intentional about doing that, please go read my first 2 books. Not for me to get payment, although thank you, but it's for you to understand why this journey, 18 years in July, is important to me. It's why I show up every morning, living in crazy, living past crazy, in it all, I show up. Go and read those 2 books. So as we're closing off the thing, as I've closed this thing off, and that was Thursday show, Monday show, Tuesday, today, what's the day? Today is Tuesday. Monday, we talked about the spirit house. Thank you, Janice. I love you. Miss Janice says she read both of the books. I appreciate you. And so that gives you a little bit more understanding of why I am where I am and why sometimes, listen, if you haven't been a part of the show, go back 2 years ago, honey. I was crying every morning because I felt so strongly about what I was sharing. And I wanted desperately for people to understand that. I now come from a place of, I can't force anybody to receive what I'm giving. I hope that it helps, but if it doesn't and they leave it for somebody else, then the person that it was left for will absolutely receive it. Good morning, Margaret. So as we have closed things off, our next responsibility is to create no more pain. That's our next responsibility. I've closed things off. That was Thursday. Yesterday, we was in the spirit house. Please go watch yesterday's show because the spirit house was my personal experience of going to the spirit house. And I promise I already got 2 ladies that I'm taking with me to the spirit house. The spirit house is very symbolic, and you can create your own however you see fit. Watch yesterday's show. We gave you some ideas. But today, as we're closing things off, part 2, and this is it, our responsibility is to create no more pain. We're not doing that. We're not creating any more pain. We are not reiterating the thing that I've healed from, period. And listen, so the closing off thing is what I got when I was at the spirit house. But this morning rather, I was reading a book and I had it bookmarked, and look at what I opened it up to. Be the ever alert guardian of your inner space. You need to be present enough to be able to watch the pain body directly and feel its energy. It then cannot control your thinking. The moment your thinking is aligned with the energy field of the pain body, you are identifying with it and again feeding it with your thoughts. So I did that when I was at the spirit house. I looked at the pain body, which was the old JoJo, and I sat with that and I looked at the thoughts and I felt them. And then I realized it was time to let her go. If you watch yesterday's show, we talked about the ambers dying down, the fire going through the top. We talked about all of that and how I honored that part of me, that she had taken me and carried me as far as she could. And it was okay for me to go the rest. Right? So the split, when you decide that you're done with that, the split within is healed. So I closed it off and I healed that part. I healed that trauma part. It is done. And I became whole again. Your responsibility, meaning my responsibility then, is not to create further pain. That's it. That's it. This is the power of now. The power of your own conscious presence, then see what happens. And that is from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So when I was at the spirit house, I recognized all the anger, frustration. I recognized all the things that the old JoJo, I recognized that she struggled. I recognized that she survived. I honored that she brought us through. I honored her tenacity, her hard work. Honey, through all of that, she got us some degrees. She did all the things for us. But in the spirit house, it was time for her to go. And in the time for her to go, the new JoJo, the healed who had closed that off, was now free to live. Now we were stepping fully into I am. But when we did that, we did what it said. I was the alert guardian of my inner space. To be present enough to be able to watch the pain body directly, which is the old JoJo, feel that energy, and then watch how that controlled my thinking. And when I aligned with that level of thinking, when I aligned with the struggle, the strife, and all the things, when I aligned and thought that way, that's the body that I created. But when I allowed that to die down, and we're talking about the spirit house, when I allowed that to die down and watch the ambers die, and I honored the past, right? But I recognized the future. Then when that happened, all of it was healed. The healing circle was complete. Then I was whole again. I need to write that down. I don't have a pencil. Then it was complete. My responsibility now, let me write that before I forget. The healing circle was complete. So then my only responsibility now is to create no further pain. This can be hard because if you're not dedicated to your I am and you're standing at that crossroads, right? And you're standing at the crossroads of the wind and the fire and all the things, then you will create that which is most familiar to you. I ain't got, I don't have, I don't know. You'll create that because that is the body that you created, you align with, and that you acknowledge. When you have decided that this is healed and closed off and this is finished, then you step fully into your I am healed, I am wealthy, I am this. Then this is who you identify. This is what your thoughts align with. It is a conscious pathway to that. Right. I'm not going backwards, Margaret. So on this great, most amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period. But I want you to think about the things that you've closed off. I want you to think about the things that you are closing off. Okay. And know that as you close them off, you cannot create more of the same. Meaning when you say, okay, I'm not thinking this way anymore, Your thought has to be, from that day forward, that thought does not exist. When it comes up, my thought process is that I don't align with that. Right. Pain is unavoidable. Unutilized. Yes. Listen, I'm not saying we will ever be pain free, struggle free, stress free. I'm saying that in that moment, I know that I don't have to go back into that circle. I can acknowledge that this is pain, struggle, frustration, anger, however it comes to me. I can acknowledge that and still know that I'm standing in my I am statement. I don't have to, what's the word I want to use? My engagement level is as strong as my engagement level. Right. Now, people make me mad. Yeah, they make me angry. I get frustrated. I get hurt. I feel those things. I honor that they came, and I also honor that I don't have to respond like I used to. I don't have to respond like that. Absolutely, Joshua. Sometimes, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to close, you honoring your boundaries. Yes, Janice, we stay intentional with our new path. You honoring your new boundaries, or you honoring boundaries, period, may look like to other people that you're dysfunctional, that you don't know what you're doing, that you are really crazy because you are honoring your boundaries. Jojo, you crazy. Why you I don't vibe with you. I don't align with that. That's crazy. You do things so differently. It is my boundary. It is my healing. And it is not necessarily for you to understand. It is for me to honor. And some of us, when we start to set those boundaries, and then as difficult as it is to stand with them, it becomes even more difficult when your family challenges it, your friends challenge it. Why are you always working? Why are you always doing this? It becomes a challenge for you. But if you stand in your I am statement, I am, and you have that conscious pathway, and you know I am does not destroy, it only comes to create. And you know what you're creating. And like Jenna said, you stay in that intention, right? In that new pathway. It may look insane to other people. It may look crazy, just like their boundaries may look crazy to you. We are all on this healing journey together. Right. Right, Joshua. So, and listen, they may want to understand, and sometimes we have to be okay that they don't. It doesn't mean that they love us any less. It doesn't mean that we love them any less. It simply means we understand things differently. So on this great day, as you're closing things off and you're creating no more pain, creating no more poverty, creating no more abuse, creating no more this, you are intentionally sitting in your I am statement. You are choosing at your crossroads in your spirit house that this thing is dying down. You honored it because it was a part of you. And now you honor the part of you that is living, the creative, the creator, the I am that is living now. Please go back and watch yesterday's show. Let me post a link for y'all for yesterday's show where we talked about. Thank you for the 3 people that shared it. I'm not sure who shared it, but I appreciate you. I think Margaret did, and I forgot who else did. But this is the link to yesterday's show, so you can watch. And it's my personal story of what happened in the spirit house. And the closing things off officially. So on this great, most amazing day, I hope this has helped somebody. If it has, you don't even got to let me know. I just want to make sure that we are all, that we're getting what we're needing. And if it's not for you, please leave it for somebody else. but it is my desire and my hope that it gives you something to think about. So I want you to be the ever alert guarding of your inner space. Be the ever alert guarding of your inner space. And know that as you close it off, as you're closing that thing off, and you're sitting in your eye, I think you know what? I know what it just hit me. You know what it should be a surprise, but I can't hold it. When you come to Sister Rise Retreat, we're going to have, thank you, Joshua, for sharing. We're going to have I am seats. We're going to have those. So you're going to physically sit in a chair that says I am. And then you're going to be allowed to pick the words that you want inside of your container, inside of your chair. And then you're going to sit literally on those words, and you're going to feel them envelop you and circle you and understand that I am this. Good morning, Tashana. Thank you, Janice. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm telling you, you want to come to Sister Rise this year. I'm telling you, the tickets are there. There is no discount. They are what they are. It will be an experience of a lifetime. I can guarantee anybody who has been there will tell you that. This year we have expanded it to 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you'll be there for 4 days so that we have more time together. But listen, I need you to understand that I am, friend. Please go back and watch Spirit House. Go back and watch I Am Part 2. Y'all remember the I Am Part 2? I think that was in January. It was February the 7th. I Am Part 2 was on February the 7th. Go back and watch that show. I'm telling you. Because it's, y'all, we're closing things off, okay? We're doing all the things. And on this great, most amazing day, we're not creating any more pain. We're not creating any more of the craziness. We are going to be the ever alert guardian of our inner space. So as you are the ever alert guardian of your inner space, and you are taking time to acknowledge your thoughts and deciding what you're going to align with today. I'm telling you, this excites me. Y'all with me? I hope y'all are getting this. I hope this is helping somebody. Because it is, I'm trying to find the link, y'all. If you wonder what I'm looking for that link so that I can share it for I Am Part 2. So you don't even have to go looking for it. And what I'm looking for, because if you don't ask, no one will ever know. I'm looking for someone to, thank you, Janice, I have a service that transcribes the morning shows for me. But I'm looking for somebody who can do that for me. It is tedious work, but I need somebody to do that. If you know somebody that is willing or is looking for something, then send them my way and let them know. All right, I finally found it. So here we go. As we are closing it off, right? As we're closing the things off, as we're doing all the things, be intentional about what we're doing today, okay? Good morning, Shay. So that's I Am Part 2. Also in there is the link from the Spirit House yesterday where I shared what happened inside the Spirit House. Okay. Let me read this again and I'm gone. Be the ever alert guardian of your inner space. You need to be present enough to be able to watch the pain body directly and feel its energy. It then cannot control your thinking. The moment your thinking is aligned with the energy field of the pain body, you are identifying with it and it begins to feed your thoughts. The minute you agree and you align with the pain body, it begins to feed your thoughts. I told you. Look, I said this. Look, the minute you decide, right, that you have healed this thing, your responsibility then is to create no further pain. So if I am the ever alert guardian of my inner space and my thoughts, and I am in my I am statement, and I've closed that off and I've healed, so that trauma does not exist for me anymore, then my thoughts align with what this healed body, then I feed that thought. So on this great day, it's going to be the most amazing day ever. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Please grab your tickets to Sister Rise. 6 people, 6 women, 6. Okay. There are payment plans available. So make sure you check those out. If you have questions about Sister Rise, let me know. I will begin the Sister Rise series today. We're going to do it on Instagram, and we're going to do it here. We're going to talk about why Sister Rise is important. I encourage you to read my first 2 books. If you've not read them, then go start there to understand more of why this is important to me, why it is here. But we will go, we'll spend a few minutes together just talking about the last few Sister Rises. And then like in November, was that November or December? Some of the ladies from Sister Rise, we all did a live together. So that is also on my page. You can go check that out, where they talk about their experiences with Sister Rise and what they thought about. I know, Tammy, if you're still on, we didn't get Tammy that day. So Tammy, if you'd like to do a live to talk about your experience, that would be great as well. So have the most amazing day ever. Be peaceful, period. If Sister Rise is where you need to be, I need you to ask her, begin to understand if you've done the work to get to this far. So I hope you have the most amazing day ever. I want you to be peaceful, period. I cannot wait. Tomorrow, maybe we'll talk about the peace pole. Okay? We'll talk about the peace pole, and me standing with the peace pole with I am peaceful on my arm, standing there aligned with peaceful written in all different kind of languages, including Braille. Oh, honey, I was at home with the land. It was a beautiful experience. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So on this great day, please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. Friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there, as well as subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the podcast. My friend Janice has a podcast as well. Janice, if you're still on, if you can drop your link to your podcast so you can check her out as well. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, my beautiful friend. So Janice, if you could drop the link for that, I'll share it everywhere for you. So y'all, closing off part 2, create no more pain. That's your responsibility. Go back and watch the Spirit House from yesterday and what I learned at the Spirit House. If you want an experience that does not require technology, it requires you to be fully present, then the Spirit House is a place I'd be honored to take you. But you got to be ready, because when you step in there, inside the Spirit House, it is life-changing. It is life-altering. And if you do not come with the respect that the Spirit House gives, you won't leave with what you need. You will carry out with what you came in with. So I want you to respect that Spirit House. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.